Something a little bit different for Turf Business TV today. We're joined by Deportivo Alavés head groundsman John Stewart. Buenos dias, John. How's it out there in Spain?
Well, buenos dias, Martin. Yeah, it's fine, fine. Lovely weather.
And lockdown is starting to ease. Is that kind of making life a little bit easier for you work-wise?
Yeah, it's not really affected us that much as far as looking after football pitches, but the rest of Spain, it's been extremely difficult for the people. I think we're a couple of months in, and it's starting to ease. Things are getting better here.
I think we just ought to explain as well, you're joining us despite the fact you've had quite a major injury recently.
Yeah, I had an accident at work last week when I was taking turf off the back of a lorry, and I'm actually wearing a full body brace. So I'm hoping I can get back to finish the season. They're speaking about starting the season on the 20th of June and finishing it near the end of July. So hopefully I can get back into work before the kick-off again.
It's been quite a year for you, hasn't it? Because you picked up quite a major award out there, if not the major award in your area.
It's strange. It's strange because I work in a small club. The competitions, guys like Varieties and Octavia in Barcelona. So it came as a complete shock. And to be honest with you, I can't really put my finger on it how it ended up coming to Alavés. The only thing I can think of really is consistency. The pitch was never ever had the wow factor, but we started the season off very, very well, and we just kept turning it over for every game. We were extremely happy with the end of the season.
You're now at the top of the tree, if you like, in terms of the quality of the surface or the awards you're winning in Spain. But you had a bit of an unusual introduction into groundskeeping and turf care, didn't you? Do you want to tell us how that started?
I'll try and keep it as short as I can, Martin, because it's quite a long story. I was actually a professional bagpiper. I think we're going back to 1997, 98. That's considered a musician in Scotland. I don't know how it is in England, but
torture elsewhere, I think. But
of course. So anyway, I was invited to play the bagpipes at the US Golf Open in Pinehurst, at Pinehurst Resort, in 1999. And my job was basically playing sunset for the guests coming in the hotel. And the week of the Open was playing for the golfers when the rounds were finished and things like that. And I had quite a bit of free time in my hands. So I actually met a guy called Kevin Robinson. He's actually the superintendent on the Donald Ross Masterpiece, the #2 golf course at Pinehurst now. And he asked me if I was interested in working. They were looking for workers on their #7 course. And I played golf at the time. It was something that really interested me. And when I started working, the day one, I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So to go 2 years later on, the contract for playing the bagpipes was 4 months, and I loved it. I continued playing the bagpipes, but I got to the stage where I never had any formal education. I was mixing with guys like Paul Mahoney in Portugal, down at Quinta do Lago. Jonathan Wood was another intern, a guy up at St Andrews, was in the Castle course, and I felt I was just missing something. So I went back to Scotland and I studied at Elmwood College. I think it was the best move I've ever made, to be honest with you. And then between my studies, I went to Denmark. I was doing a wee bit of consulting work on a golf course out there, because Denmark at that time was pretty new to the booming golf. And how I ended up here, I actually came here on holiday. I came to a place called Pamplona, which is where the bulls chase you down the street. Yep. So I went there and I met a girl, and that's where it kind of ended and started. So I moved across here, and I've been here for 19 years now.
So you've obviously embraced the Spanish way of life. What differences have you faced out there?
Well, obviously when you first come here, the language, I can barely speak English. So to be able to learn another foreign language, it was extremely difficult. At first, I was just working on a crew on a golf course. So just pointing and showing you a machine, you had a rough idea what you had to do. But through time, I wanted to get to that job of being a head greenkeeper. And I think it was about 7 or 8 years in, being in Spain, and a job come up. And I moved from my hometown to a golf course about an hour north of Madrid. And I was there for a couple of years. So I was always in golf. I'd never touched football to this stage. Then we moved forward a couple of years. And actually, I came back home. I was offered a job on a horse race track. So I think I can tick all the boxes as far as surfaces are concerned, turf grass surfaces. And the racetrack, right beside the racetrack, are Real Sociedad's training facilities. and it was the same company that was working with the two of them, and they were having a few problems. I mean, and I was interested in moving into football, so I moved into that, helping the Groundsman as a kind of consultancy role, and about 6 years ago, Alavés, which is my hometown club, they come knocking on my door and they offered me a job in the training facilities as head groundsman, because the head groundsman was actually retiring the following year, and I moved into the stadium, and that really takes me up to where I am nowadays, actually.
So what did you walk into there in terms of the surface? What construction was the pitch, and have you changed it at all?
Well, when I moved into Alavés, it's strange because we were one day from going into liquidation. We were playing in the old third division. It was just bad management, terrible management. So they hadn't done any work really. They had just been getting from one season to the next, one season to the next. So it was just to kind of clean the face of the training facilities. They were a real mess. But to be honest with you, I like that side of it. You know, as soon as you've done something, you've seen the improvements. So I was delighted to work up there. When the stadium come up, it was really badly constructed, really bad. They had the water table was sitting about 10 centimetres off the surface. It was 100% poanua. So what we done was we took the top off it. We took the top 10 centimetres off. We took the sand underneath. We basically built a new pitch without doing the drainage. Right. And the first year I was in there, I mean, this is when the carpets were coming out. Everybody was were either stitching or putting a carpet down. And to be honest with you, I was very interested in the methods, but I thought I'm going to try a couple of years just with natural grass, just to see how it goes. And it's worked out fine. And from there, we've actually not changed it. We've not changed it. We're going to fall behind because in Spain now, what they're doing is they're either getting stitched, carpets, and when you go further south, they've got Bermuda grass, which is almost equivalent to having a carpet. So we're looking at getting it stitched. At first it was a carpet, but I'm kind of leaning more towards getting it stitched. I've got some prices, so hopefully we'll get one more season with what I've got, and then we'll move across to getting it stitched or a carpet.
John, the grass seed that you're using, have you got particular varieties that seem to work better in your conditions? Is that something that you've had to get your head around in terms of different conditions, meaning different seed and different varieties?
Not that much, Martin, because I mean, we're just outside the transitional zone. If I had Bermuda grass, it would last me 2 months. Whereas if you go 2 hours further south, I mean, Victoria's actually on a plateau. It's 600 metres above sea level. It's 45 minutes south of Bilbao. So the weather conditions, I mean, in the winter time, really cold winters, we're talking about -6, -7. And in the summertime, I've seen it up at 41. And when you're inside a stadium, you could add on another couple of degrees. So, but it changes for one. Today we've got 29 degrees, tomorrow we're getting 17. So the changes are brutal, really brutal. So what I've opted for is I've just got English ryegrass with Poa pratensis, Kentucky bluegrass, and that seems to work fine. There is something that's coming in here. I don't know if they're using it in England, but it's Italian ryegrass. It's Lolium multiflorum. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, I'm not personally, but
it's quite an ugly grass. I think it's probably a grass that could work very well in lower divisions. I'm not sure if the top guys in the Premier League would be interested in using it, but it's a grass that germinates 5, 6, 7 degrees in the winter time. So if you're struggling to get through the winter, and it's an annual grass, so once the temperatures start to lift and your English ryegrass is coming through in March, April time, which I imagine they'll be temperatures in England, it's ideal if you want coverage, and it's almost the same colour. So that's a wee trick that I've learned, the last couple of years when we started using it. But no, I keep it. It's pretty similar to what they're using in the United Kingdom.
And in terms of the kit and the processes you do, is there anything different you have to do?
Everybody asks me the same thing, Martin. I don't do anything special. What I think I do is I keep it extremely simple, but extremely simple. I mean, the first things I was learning when I was going to greenkeeping was keep my lawnmower sharp, and we tend to forget that, and we're always jumping. We've always got something else to do, but I think they're just the most important things. I mean, It takes 15 minutes to sharpen a lawnmower, but when you've not sharpened it for 2 months, it will take 2 hours, and you'll still never get it back to how it should be. That's one method. Another thing that I use a lot, I'm constantly brushing the pitch. I'm getting all that debris underneath. I'm keeping the plant as healthy as I possibly can. That comes with greenkeeping. It really doesn't come from looking after football pitches. And it's the same when I'm sanding pitches. I would never, apart from when I corner the pitch off, I would never dream of putting down 30 tons of sand. I'd go light top dressing, so I'm not changing any profile. I mean, basically, really simple greenkeeping, but trying not to forget about it.
And what about treatments and additives and fertilisation? What have you got a different regime out there for that? Is there something particular that you're using that you think has been a magic bullet, perhaps?
Okay, well, I probably do the same feeding as they do in the United Kingdom. You know, I'm using a granular fertiliser probably the first week of the month, and then I'm adding on another liquid fertiliser the middle of the month. I'm using Primo. I try to keep it to a minimum. I actually prefer the grass just to grow on its own accord. But I'll use it when, you know, when my back's against the wall. I just kind of keep up with the cutting. Other than that, I'm using a product which has worked very well for me. I think I'm pretty sure it's in Britain now, a product called Precision Microbes. What this product does, I actually bought it on the pretense that it was going to get rid of black clay. I had a huge problem with black clay because we got the turf from Fifers at the very end of the season. There was hardly any turf left in Europe, and it was, you know, it was all that was left. It was quite thatchy, but had a lot of organic material. So I started using this product to get rid of black clay. I got terrible black clay, and I'm not one for going out and taking samples every 2 minutes, but I can almost guarantee it in about a month and a half, never got any complaints. The pitch cleaned up. I seen the profile that was much cleaner. And what this product actually does, you have to spray it every 15 days. And when you get temperatures behind it, I mean, it's like Viagra for grass.
Right.
If you take a handful of grass the day before, especially if you fertilise when the grass is quite succulent, and you hold it in your hands, I mean, you can feel the softness in the grass, but when you're putting down Precision Microbes, it just tightens everything up. So it's possibly been a game changer for me. But it's obviously it's keeping everything right. It's sharpening blades, cleaning the pitch, your aerifying program, keep on top of it. You know, trying not to jump the 1 week to the next without aerifying. You know, it's pretty straightforward.
We've mentioned Barcelona and Real Madrid and the resources they've got, and the fact that you've kind of produced a surface there that has won an award. We talked about products. What's your staffing like? What's your team?
It's quite a small team actually. I've only got one other guy in the stadium, but I have another guy that comes and helps when we're in the springtime and when we're in the autumn. But the thing is, there's a huge advantage in England, I think, because most of these guys are moving into turf grass. They've got a turf grass background. They've actually studied turf grass. Whereas in Spain, I mean, I take my hat off to these guys like Paul Burgess, who's had to bring a team on himself. He's had to train them because we've not got that. I mean, we've not got that world of turf grass here in Spain. But I think the biggest thing that's happened in Spain, we were always looking to the Premier League because the pitches in the Premier League are fabulous. They're absolutely fabulous. And I would say Spain, before Paul came here, was probably 20 years behind on everything, on education towards turf grass, machinery, especially the way the clubs thought about maintenance. You know, the guy was just a gardener. He could have also been the kit man, which was the case in my club until I moved in there. So it was educating the club, and that is an extremely difficult thing to do. Extremely difficult. So I don't think we can be envious of the Premier League now, to be honest with you. I think we're catching up pretty quick.
And La Liga now have got somebody who's responsible for liaising with you guys. I think, is it Pedro that's looking after that? Has that brought things on as well?
Oh, without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt. I mean, we've practically got a consultant 24/7 if you've got a problem. But again, Martin, Spain is so diverse. You got to Seville, they're using Bermuda grass and they're cutting it 17 millimetres. You go to Bilbao, they've got a carpet, they've got a stadium that's completely closed. They've got a hole in the roof, tiny hole in the roof. It's almost an indoor stadium. And then the other side of the coin is come to places like Galicia, Vitoria, where the pitches, you know, they're getting high rainfall, they're getting cold winters. So it's a difficult job for Pedro, but it's certainly been a huge help for us.
We're speaking about the tools and the processes that you're using and precision microbes, etc. But have you got things like grow lights or other, you know, big ticket bits of kit?
The grow lights are they're on their way. I'm going to have grow lights for this winter. I bought covers last year, you know, frost covers. The problem is with frost covers, you know yourself, Martin, they're not that manageable to cover a full pitch. It's a lot of work, and when you've got a very small crew, you begin to wonder whether it's actually worth it. Great product, but really time consuming. I think the lights obviously have been a game changer for everyone involved in it.
So in terms of looking forward then, I mean, you've had quite a varied career, bagpiper to award-winning groundsman and, you know, a few bits in between. What do you think might be on the horizon for you? What's your ambitions?
I think as the years roll past, I would still want the chance to take on a big club. You know, I'm not sure about the UK, but certainly in Spain, you know, your Athletic Madrids, your Barcelona is probably, you know, is the ultimate for everyone apart from Paul Burgess. But you know, I've not closed the door on trying to move in for a bigger club. I'm extremely happy where I am. I think I'm pretty well respected within the club, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if I couldn't move on.
And obviously things like awards that you've picked up demonstrate your value and your worth and your skill, to be frank.
I hope so. I mean, it came as a huge surprise because, as I said before, Martin, there's a lot of great professionals in Spain now, really good professionals. So, I mean, I can't really put my finger on it. I was delighted to win it, but I mean, next year I'll go to somebody else and we'll be talking about him.
So professionally, would that be the highlight of your career?
I think I've been asked this before. I'd probably say no. I think the achievement was when I actually took over the golf course in Salamanca, having never worked with I had about 20 guys on the crew, having to organise the work, having to organise the work in a different language, and actually improving the golf course. The golf course, fortunately, was in quite a bad state when I arrived there, and I left it in a very good, you know, I left it in very good condition. So that was probably the highlight. I mean, I fell into football through pure chance, you know, for a racetrack to go into football. I would never close the door on golf either. But I do like the day-to-day running of a football club, the excitement. I mean, the atmosphere at a Spanish game is completely different to how it is in the UK. I mean, it's almost a carnival every weekend.
Well, I've been to a couple of games in Spain, yeah, and they are something else. I can vouch for that. They really are. Personally, one little story that you did tell me that I'd love you to share with us is your bagpiping took you to be involved with the great Sevillano Ballesteros, didn't it?
Yeah, it did so. It did so. I almost feel like every time I tell this story. I mean, when Sevi died, I phoned his brother. I had worked up in Pedreña 2 or 3 times, and I'd seen him on the golf course. Now he was quite ill at this stage, so I phoned his brother and I asked his brother, you know, I thought it was a good idea, you know, with the connection with Scotland and having bagpipes at the funeral. So when I phoned him, he liked the idea, and he says, I'll phone you back in an hour. And the phone rang in 2 minutes. He says, we think it's a fantastic idea. So I arrived there, you know, and all his family and friends, and all the stars and sports stars from Spain were there. And I thought I was going to just play a bit part, you know, play a couple of tunes in the garden. But it turned out I had to actually play in front of his urn while his family carried the urn to the church. And it was live on TV here in Spain. I think it was live on TV in Britain also. And but when you see, you didn't realise how big the man actually was until you're there. How much he was actually loved in Spain. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.